Good evening, good evening. Very good evening to you. Hi, it's Professor Shadow here today for Sunday Night in the Shadows, as usual. Sunday night, 7 p.m. British Standard Time, of course. And trying to get this to work properly. It's not quite working at the moment, so let me just get this up. Crystal's on. Good evening, Crystal. As usual, nothing is working properly. Here we are. Good. Very good evening to you. It's the Professor here. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. First thing I'm going to do, Shelley's on as well. Good evening, Shelley. Is I'm going to just go over the comments, which I really like doing, and then we're going to have a chat. How are you? I forgot it's Sunday. I'm very well, thank you, Crystal. Hope you're well as well. Let's jump onto these comments real quick. We're getting there. We are getting there. Bear with me just a second. I literally just 7 o'clock. I just pressed the button. I was totally unprepared, but I am here. And I am ready. Shelley, let's go over these comments. Community. So here we go. I'm in. So let's do the comments real quick. John, love listening to Spooky Story. Great, excellent. Yeah, excellent. I enjoyed creating this. I did this one because I needed a bit of downtime. I wanted to create something a little bit different. So I created a ghostly story, which I really wanted to. I really like that era of the 1800s seance. I think that's a really spooky era. So I created one with some images from that. Really enjoyed doing that one. That really had a really busy day. And that really helped me on my downtime. Enjoyed that. Winter and his mastermind, Dr. Doom. Yes, love Dr. Doom. Both intelligent. A little bit different, but yeah, I suppose very good. I like Dr. Doom as well. Dr. Thorne is a menace. Indeed he is. He is a menace. Can't wait for this one. Excellent. That's here. That's here. Is that Terry? Uncle Biz. Damn. Nice. Winter is a bit arrogant. That I believe is his weakness. Yeah. That and the love for Mara. Yes, definitely. I've been gone a bit. I want you all to know I love you. Great tales and spookiness. Thank you so much. I'm just starting when you post, my dear Professor. Oh, I'm here now. I'm here now, Linda Arrington. I'm here now, live. I'd love to arrange some of your content. Okay. Send me a message. Where's Crimson? Oh, I think I did this one last time. Where's Crimson Dawn 5? There isn't one. Nice. Good. So not as much this week. Okay, let's jump back on the comments. So not as much this week. It's been a quiet week actually for YouTube. Not so many. Obviously, I'm not putting out as much content, but not as much people watching. Not as many people as usual watching. Obviously, coming up to Christmas is always going to be quiet. But do keep watching. Do keep watching the tales I put out, and hopefully you'll find one that you enjoy. So how are we? Good evening. Good evening, John. How are you, Shelley? Good. Nice. Shelley's back home, I think. Excellent. So yeah. So I was just saying that I created that last story, which I did yesterday. A really busy day yesterday. And I came home in the afternoon and I was zapped. When you've just done too much and you come and you sit down and just like, I'm zapped. So I thought, what can I do? I really want to create something. So I sat down and created the ghostly photo story. I didn't want to spend too much time on editing, so I focused more on the storytelling and tried to get some spooky images in there, which it worked really well. I did a bit of play with Premiere Pro and made the screen look a bit grainy, added up the noise, and it came out really well. I really enjoyed the story. Hopefully you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch that. It's really fun in creating it. So, but like I said, I really like that era of that seance-y, sepia tone images. I think that's really spooky. And what I was doing, I was looking through some old ghost photos, which is what gave me the idea to create this. And I thought, what a great idea if, like, similar to stories before, but where the photo pulls people in so that it can get people out of the photo out. I thought that was a great idea. So yes, I enjoyed that. And I like the way the sepia tone of the images went, and the grain and the noise to add to that spooky visual effect. I enjoyed it. So that, believe it or not, was downtime from a busy day. I literally created that within 3 hours. So that was my downtime. After I created that, I was tickety boo and all raring to go, and had a great evening. So sometimes you just need to do the things you enjoy, and after that busy day, I enjoyed creating that story. I just had the end in mind when I started. I really want to get to the end of that part where the character comes out the photo. So I was looking forward to that. And yes, I enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy it too. So if you haven't watched the ghostly photo on the Professor Shadow channel, go ahead and watch it straight after this call, whether you're watching live, like right now, or you're watching the replay. Just go ahead and give that a look. Hopefully you enjoy it. More into the idea of the story rather than the visuals, although the visuals are pleasant. So this week I put out Portals Part 2. Hopefully, again, we watched this one because we had a favorite character, or my favorite character, Winter, back in there again. And we had Dr. Thorne in there. We had the Alpha in there. We had Serana. We had Eldridge. We had Elder. We had the Gnat. We had the Flea. Oh, so many characters within one story. So hopefully you managed to see that. It was really, really, really interesting. But of course, I've got to do part 3. But I am going to leave you in limbo because I don't believe I'm going to have time. I'm going to try. I'll probably get half of it done this week. So it's going to be a while. Maybe just over a week. If I get it done, I'll get it out. But I have another story I'm working on right now, sort of in the middle with everything, and a separate, which I'm going to try and get out as well for next week. Maybe I'll save the climax of the Winter, or the Dr. Thorne and Winter interaction for just before Christmas, as a Christmas gift from me to you. Maybe you'll enjoy the ending, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be upset with the ending, I don't know. But it will be intriguing and hopefully interesting for you. Yes, working on another story, which I have in mind, which I've been playing with. Been playing with some visuals in more downtime today, and created a little video today in about 30 seconds, visuals, and so I like to do it. So I have an idea, and I'll go to like some AI programs like Leonardo or Luma Dreamweaver and put some ideas in and get the images to come out. Another powerful one I found lately, which is really good, which is surpassing many things, is Grok. It's called Grok, which is on X. That actually gives some beautiful images. So I can go on there and put in my idea, and it gives you the images, which then helps the creative idea for the story come to life. So you can really start to visualize your own story and then put it into words. So yeah, so I have some good tools. So I was doing that today with this story, putting these images, create some great images. I don't know if I'll be able to share with you guys. If I can, I will. It's only 30 seconds. But, I'll see if I can share the video I did before I put it up on YouTube. I don't know if it'll work, but let's have a look. Working on it. Oh, the computer's going to go slow. But so if it comes up, I will definitely see if I can show you the video, because I thought it was really cool. Give you an idea of what the next story is. Oh, here we go. I think it's on. See if I can share this with you. There we go. Might not be able to. No, sorry. Sorry about that. Window. Yeah, here we go. Try this. Yes, here we go. So here's the video that I was playing with. So I'm going to give it a play. So this is exclusive. It's just the images I was on a little bit of downtime I was watching today. So let's give it, it's only like 30 seconds. Let's give it a roll. Drum roll. And here we go. Oh, there we go. So that is a little bit of a teaser. Looks like me as a werewolf, maybe. It's been a very long week. It has been a very long week, so it's 100% possible for me to be that person. How is that, Professor Share? It's nice. So yes, that's a 100% preview for you guys that were on here. It's just I was just playing with some. That's how I like to create the stories, get the idea, build a few images, make a few videos, and then keep working on the story. I would love to know if you would expand Alpha's backstory more. Maybe there's a possibility, Jeanette. It's a possibility. I think the where I did the story of the Alpha originally, we did the backstory. That was quite long as well. So I mean, there's other things we can do. There's other things we can do. So yes, it's a possibility. It's a possibility for sure. And Tubby's on. Good evening, Professor Shadow. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Long time no see. Long time no see. So when are we going to get Tubby's the name of our cat, Tubby to come on live? We should come on live and do the show herself. Long time no see, really. Yeah, literally 2 seconds ago before I shut the door here. Yeah, so hopefully that was good. Just playing with some new AI software as well, which blends images into images, as you can see there. So I thought, what a great use of the software, blending in transfer. So build some images of a werewolf or person turning into a werewolf, and then blend the images so it looks like he's actually transforming all the way through. And that worked really well. So yeah, it's another story I'm working on behind the scenes. Hopefully had a good preview. Let's turn that off. What about a story with giants? I'm new to your channel, but I love listening to your stories. I'm studying for uni. Nice. suppose the stories are great because although they have great imagery, I think they have really good AI imagery. They're great to just put on and listen to as well. Because sometimes I truly believe that when we watch the images along the story, we have the images made for us. When we create our own images in our head, it's even better. So, Story of Giants. Yes, I was playing, Crystal. I was playing with some images. And actually, the ghost photo, and I put in. I can't remember the prompt I put in, but something like an 18th century, and it come with this woman in the middle, and these two giant. They weren't people giants, but they were giant like slug type things or something. I thought, oh, that would be great if I could create something giant within the story. So yeah, so thinking about it, definitely thinking about it. So we could get the giant, eventually the giant v the dragon, and you could have someone to combat the dragon. Or we're going too fantasy based. Yeah, giants. So there's a movie. What is it? The Giant. What's that movie I watched? I should say watch. Giant. What? Giant. I don't know what it was. The film I watched a while back. Strange giant in it. Oh, I can't remember. What's the name of that movie? It's like this. These people go to this. They go to this remote place and find this Spanish armor and gold, and then they find this huge helmet and they belong to a giant. Oh, it's the legend of this giant, and then of course lightning come down and strike the body of the giant. Is still alive, comes up, gets its armor back. I'm just trying to think what the name of the film is. I'm a werewolf fan or a wolf fan. Black and white movie. Bear with me, friends. I'm trying to find it because it's in my head and I need to find it, otherwise it would drive me crazy. Movie with giant. Let's try that. It's not giving me what I want. When I think about it, I will let you know. I can't find it. Okay, let's move on. What if giants live in the center of Earth and they can travel through the ocean into portals? Giants at the center of the Earth. Yeah, and then somehow something like the crack, like you say, a crack in the ocean, and they come up. Secret in the world. Like the land that time forgot. They go to the center of the Earth. What if there was this place and giants had dragons like as pets or something, or in cages? Someone went to help free them from this race of giant mean people. live in mountains and they can travel through the water. Like the frost giants from Norse mythology. They live in the mountain. So we did have a giant. We did have a giant in the vampire story I did about the master. And he actually merged one of these giants and created this huge vampire monster. Azrael, we call it. And I sort of nicked a little bit of Norse mythology for that. And, you know, so yeah. So maybe there is a second giant. Maybe there is a second mythological creature that's not happy that the vampire race used their kin to create Azrael. Now this particular giant, who is the last of the kind, the last mythological creature, decides to hunt down those that killed its kin. And what if the first vampires encounters was not actually the ones that did it, but maybe the ones such as Serana or Elder? That would be interesting. Now we've got a fight on our hands. Imagine that. But then could that be used again? Could that be used again to create a second Azrael? The possibilities of stories are endless. Could use a witch or a crone for backup magic. Yes. A fight. Giants ruled over the lizard people. Anti-heroine, perhaps. We've yet to introduce the lizard people. Who are the lizard people? Could be an interesting tale once again. I mean, I think that's what's great, is the possibilities of stories are endless. It can be anything we wish it to be. There's a Series V, yes. I watched that. I watched that when it first came out. So I watched that on the day that it came out. I used to enjoy that one. It was a good series. Back in the day, watch it now, it looks very cheesy, but back in the day, it was a nice series to watch. And them with Rowdy Piper. Is it them? What was it? What's that one with Rowdy Piper? They or something. They Live. Is that one? They Live, I think. What if lizard people come from dragons? Ah, here we go. Dragons evolved. Because of their size, they could not stay hidden. So they had to evolve to stop being hunted down. Some more dragon people. The way of the dragon. Possibilities. And the possibilities go on forever. Go on forever. So obviously in our tale, for those that have watched it, been doing a series called Portals. Part 1, Part 2 is out. Part 3 is in the works because it's not complete yet. It's not complete. I have the idea of what's going to happen, but how it's going to happen is another matter. Maybe we could introduce some lizard creatures or people into that story, into that tale. Because if dragons evolved from dragons into lizard people to hide, then obviously they can't afford. I don't know if I should say, because maybe some of you haven't watched part 2, but maybe they can't afford for our hero to not come back. Because they seek their own survival. Which would be great. Which would be an interesting tale. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Maybe. I say I'm not gonna complete. I'm gonna really knuckle down on that one and put lots of ideas in. Give myself maybe a week or two to finish part 3, so that I can get it out just for Christmas as a Christmas present for everybody. And because I am working on these other tales, which we had a look at the video just now, which I will get out sort of next week, and I'll do a different one the following week, and then we should have the final part done and dusted, ready to move on. So there was a question, when is Crimson Dawn Part 5? Well, Crimson Dawn is almost now constantly evolving. It's almost alive all the time, because every story now is connected in some way, and we have the characters from Crimson Dawn in the stories. I'm using the characters from Crimson Dawn in all the stories. What I like to do is to create like an original tale. It would be a standalone tale, like if you'd seen my Call of the Moon series. Then after the first one, I introduce the characters to come in, and so you've got standalone moving into continuation of Crimson Dawn. I thought that was an interesting concept. What if a vampire discovers a book on lizard people in the history, and they search for them by looking for dragon symbols? Yes. What if our new heroes, which were originally they were our anti-heroes, which were Sorana and Elder, in Crimson Dawn, they were the bad guys. But what's happened over time is they've come to realize that the pain is what created them, and the more pain they got, the stronger they became, and the stronger the connection they had between each other. And then they have the connection now with Winter and Eldridge. What if even all of them, the Alpha, Eldridge, all the vampires, are not strong enough? They're just not strong enough to defeat Thorn. They need someone else. They need a more powerful being. And they discover that there is descended from the dragon. What if werewolves were the guardians of lizard people will not be found? So if they're descended from the dragon, maybe they need to now go on a hunt for a quest to find these, because that maybe I don't know, this is not written yet, so we don't know, but maybe they get defeated by Thorn some way. They just feel that they're not powerful enough, so they need to find more power without Winter. But of course, there'd have to be a twist in there somewhere. There'd have to be a twist in there somewhere, which I have in my head. It's evolving already as we speak. Should be quite interesting. I think I might use that. Because I have the idea for the finish, but how the finish happens, and I need a twist in there. So it could be an interesting concept we could use. We could use that. And we could even introduce the giant as well. Seeking revenge. What a battle. There's going to be a huge battle. The problem is when you get too many characters in one thing, the AI just doesn't do it. It just cannot do it. You can't say, hey, put this character and this character and then follow it. It just won't work. But you can move between individual characters. That's how I've always done it. Yeah, because there's a movie. I want to see that movie, The Alligator People. Anyone seen The Alligator People? It's actually a really good movie. It's a really good movie. They're like sort of lizard creatures, but they have this big, long alligator mouth. It's quite spooky. I think anything where the character is human, but the upper body, the head, is something completely different. I find that quite spooky. So Alligator People is definitely one of those. If you haven't watched Alligator People, hey, that could be my recommendation for the week. The Alligator People. You've got to watch that if you haven't watched that movie. It's actually pretty good. It's better than it sounds. It's a lot better than it sounds. And the giant, I still can't find that giant one where that is. I can't find it. One more time. Back. Let me just give it a quick look. Maybe I'll find it in this type of section. And of course, I'm not going to find it. It normally pops up when I'm searching for movies, so because I've watched it a few times, so I don't really look at it, so I can't remember the title. It's going to bug me until I find it now. Oh, well. Hey, I finally made it. Spider, good evening, my friend. Welcome to live. Great to see you here. We were just discussing possibilities for the final conclusion of the Portals stories. And we actually came up with some really intriguing ideas. A story about ghost ships of pirates that were cursed. Yes, I love the idea of ghost ships. I do love the idea of ghost ships. That whole idea that the fog and the misty ship coming out, you know, and moving from. I love that idea. It's like, yeah, I just think it's a really interesting concept. It's not been done enough. I remember there's a movie called Ghost Ship, and it had a great image on the cover. There's all fog and a ship coming along, and then you watch it, and it was absolutely diabolical. Yeah, I like the idea of a ghost ship. I tried to do it wasn't actually a ghost ship, it was like a ghost story, and the people on the ship had drowned, and they were taken. This family went to the beach, and they took the little girl, and the father exchanged himself. I don't know if you saw that one. Yeah, there was like, it had some ghostly. That was my idea. That, you know, when you see that ghost ship, that idea there, that was. I'll find that story for you. Tell you what it was. It's quite an older one that I did. Did you see the movie that came out on August 25th about Dracula's voyage from Transylvania to England? It was a lovely haunted ship movie. No, I didn't. I didn't see that. What if ghost ships pop up before major storms or even appear because of sea creatures? I'm going to draw your attention to the story I did about. It wasn't actually. There is a ship and there's ghosts on it. It's like a sunken ship. So I will. Wow, it's quite a way back I did this. I was trying to. Wow, here's a while back. I'm in March of this year and I still can't find it. So it's unbelievable how many videos I've actually done. Ah, found it. This one. Let's get out for you. So if you haven't seen it, let me share it. This one, let's get the thumbnail, looks like that. Ghost Story of the Drowned. So yeah, wait, that was a fairly psychological ghost story. So if you haven't watched that, it's a bit far back, but if you search on the channel Ghost Story of the Drowned, that will come up. And that's like there's a ship that appears and it's trying to take souls. Right, got some nice imagery in that. I like these images. Again, you can see how the idea of getting the images first and then working through the story. Look at these images; they were just so good. I really like this one because of the imagery. The imagery was so good. These images. Of course, had a nice twist at the end. So if you haven't watched that one, I highly recommend giving that a look. Highly recommend it. What if Queen Mary is really a ghost ship that got recovered and is used as a museum? Yeah. Errol Henry, I love your work, Professor. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for showing up today. It's really a ghost ship. Yeah, I do like that idea of going. I'm gonna have to do something with that. Try and get the concept that at the moment that idea of the story of the ghost ship is quite foggy. Stop watching your videos for a while so I could take a whole day and do nothing but watch new to me videos. It's going to be a long. I've done a few, Spider. I've done quite a few, so enjoy. I didn't realize when I put together the Crimson Dawn that each series was 5.5 hours each. So if you watch just the 3 Crimson Dawn series, or 4, because there's obviously Shadow, the Shadow World. If you watch those, that's like 18 hours. That's a long time. That's a long time. Although having said that, I have had audiobooks that are like 18 hours plus. Some audiobooks are just 25 hours long. Excellent writer. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. And as everyone knows, I haven't been putting out as much content lately because my work it's just taking me all over the place at the minute. And creating is actually my downtime. So when I create a story, it's normally my downtime. It's what. So have a hectic day like yesterday. I had this really crazy day, and then I came home and I felt exhausted. I felt totally exhausted mentally. So what I did is I created the ghostly photo story, and after that I feel refreshed. What the fog is because of the ghost ships and they even appear on lakes beside oceans. Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Imagine this concept. You know, maybe in the countryside, someone has this big lake where we are here in the UK. So I travel to the coast quite regularly, and halfway they have this huge lake. We go over the bridge and look at it every time. We think, oh, it looks so beautiful. Imagine going there when it's dark and foggy, but in the fog, for some reason, instead of just the lake, a ghostly ship appears. My goodness, wouldn't that be amazing? That would be amazing. That would be an amazing concept. Yes, so you could do the whole ghost ship story, and the people try to escape from it. So they go inland and they think it's all over, but their house is next to a lake. And then, obviously, out of the fog from the lake, the ship is there to come to consume and take them for whatever reason the ship needs to take them. That'd be good, wouldn't it? There's no escaping. There is no escaping the ghost ship. Why would they want them? Why would they? Why would they want? That's the whole thing. Is why. I like that twist at the end of everything. That there's a price. What if life has this to be a warning about sea creatures and ghost ships appearing and trying to capture the living? Yeah, as a warning or a deterrent. They can't stand the light. Scotland is better, more eerie. Yeah, we have Loch Ness up there. Huge, isn't that the biggest mass of water on the Isles? Yeah, so they try to escape, and then they go. But would you escape to Loch Ness? I don't know. I don't know if I'd escape to Loch Ness. Maybe. Catacombs. Because of evil-doing ancestors. Yes, they need to come for a payment of some type. They need a payment for something, or retribution, or a way for them to gain energy to move from the spiritual world into the real reality. I like that concept. That concept you'll see in many of my stories, where something it takes the energy of the living so that it can live. It can come out of whatever reality it's in and move into the world of living and replace the living person into their world. That's great. I mean, it's a concept that, for me, originally I saw this concept in a film called From Beyond the Grave, and there's an episode because that's a Amicus horror anthology, and there's an episode in there where the character, there's a big mirror, and they do a seance, and the character in the mirror drains, and then they trade places. That's the concept. I like that concept. It's like that you'll see that I sort of use a similar concept in the ghostly photo. I use it many times because I love that concept. That the creature, why would the creature be bothering anyone unless it needed something? It needed to feed, it needed a payment so it could become, it wouldn't just be doing it, it wants to come into the real world. Yes, I do like that concept. Someone made a deal to give up their future children. Or a scary hound. Because souls are needed. Souls give ghost ship power and strength. Need more crew. Yeah, that's a good one. Need more crew. Need crew. Imagine that. Imagine this. So like they're claiming, so they claim the human soul, and then they hunt them down. Eventually they finally claim the human soul, and the last image of the story is the human soul, the person maybe rowing. They're stuck in the room of the oars, using their soul, their energy, their life force to propel the ship. And that's why they wanted him, for nothing more than to be the drive of the ship. Oh, and for eternity. My goodness. Yes, that would be interesting. I like that. I like that, actually. I do like that. That's definitely my type of story, where everything's happening. They almost get away, then they get caught, and you realize, my goodness, their fate is worse than death. They're forever cursed in this place, for eternity, to row on the oars of the ghost ship. My goodness. My goodness. What a fate. Or like we in the ghostly photo, to be trapped until another comes to take your place. My goodness. Because the concept of that is that not only are you trapped, but you must make someone else do what you had to do to release yourself. Yes. So it looks like we could be doing a ghost ship story. I really like that idea. I like that idea. And I should imagine that some of the imagery we could get would be so good. Some of the imagery for a ghost ship, my goodness. That's what I said. So when I saw that movie, it's called The Ghost Ship. The image on the front cover looks amazing. But the movie itself I didn't really like it. Imagine if you could use that imagery throughout the story. That would be good. That would be very interesting. Yes. I have to get someone to do something to call up the ghost ship. They'd have to do something in order for the ship to appear. Could have done a deal with an evil entity. If ghost ships go after greedy, vengeful people, becoming servants of dead pirates, servants of the damned, forever to row for eternity. Greedy, vengeful people. You know what I like to do? I like to get normal people. So a lot of my stories I've done, we've gone after people that are maybe greedy or see that we use people in different ways. But I think some of the most powerful ones, specifically what I've seen in the past, are the ones where you get normal people for no reason. They made a mistake to call it, because when you see that could be you. I like that idea. That's like the psychological, isn't it? It's like, I'm not greedy, so I'll be fine. I'm a normal person. So is this in the story. Is Mr. Winter an extension of you in any way? He's one of my favorites. No, not really from me. Maybe because I work in development of confidence, self-esteem, and the brain and things like that. So obviously that era, yes. The reason I created Winter, I originally had the idea for the mask. I wanted to create. I had Crimson Dawn, and I had werewolves roaming, I had undead, and I had vampires. And I said to myself, how can we have a human stand up to that? How can a human stand up to a werewolf, to an undead creature, to a vampire, to giant werewolves and monsters? So I thought I need to create a human, but what does humans have that these creatures maybe don't have? And of course, is intellect. And then, so that's where we come along. And the reason we create the mask, because he had to change himself. So now we have the chrome mask. So whenever he looks at himself, he doesn't see himself. He sees the endless, the possibilities of everything. So, because obviously we look at a mirror in a mirror, it's like infinite, isn't it? So that was my idea for the mask, and why we created Winter to be that powerful being. And then, of course, in Winter's Tales, he's gone off and he's become so powerful. So powerful. We do need to knock him down a peg or two, I feel. But he has just become just so powerful. But yeah, that's why I created him. Like I say, you couldn't have just a normal person up against a vampire, because there's no hope. There's no hope. And so you need it. And then I really wanted to create that. When I introduced Winter, I thought, I want someone that's going to be more powerful than anybody. Then constantly introduced the gods, and more powerful than all of them. Who could that be? And so, that's when he started. Like a lot of people, oh, he's very arrogant. I should imagine if you had that type of intellect and power, then you'd be quite arrogant with it as well. But yes, I feel he is quite arrogant. I think we all would be if we were far more intelligent than everyone. But yes, that's how I came up with that character of Winter. We needed him. We was in that story, and we needed him. We needed a human hero, more powerful. Is Winter from the future? No, he was just someone that was working. He was an expert on a super intelligent person working on the brain, and obviously how to cure Alzheimer's. That was his original thing, because of his wife. And then the world kicked off, and of course everything changed for him. Everything changed for him. And then he dedicated that, and he'd learned, because he was working on brain waves, etc., he learned to accelerate his own intelligence. And then from there on, once you start that, if it keep increasing, there's no end. What about a ship's crew killed by one crew member who was a werewolf, and the rest are cursed to be on the ghost ship until they find and kill the werewolf's great-great-grandson who is cursed? Yes, you do like they need to find somebody. Somebody has wronged them in a way. He's the balance. Yes, exactly. If you watch the Shadow Realm, the only reason he came back is so that no one else could ever do what he did. Of course, if they eliminated him, if they got rid of him, then others would be able to replicate, well, maybe replicate what he did. But with him there, that can never happen. So reality was that the reality is much safer with him there. But he is a great character. He's a great character to create, to play with, to grow. There's a story we did in Winter's Tales where he's facing this entity, and he's in a place where time doesn't exist, and he's with this entity that is literally all powerful, all knowing, is about to destroy him. So what he's able to do, because time doesn't exist, he sits for years, because the creature says, ask me a question. And he asks question after question after question for years and years, until he becomes as knowledgeable as the creature, because time didn't exist. And of course, now he's come back, he have this knowledge. It was crazy. It was crazy. When I was writing, I was like, this guy's getting very powerful. We do need to, I think we need to maybe knock him down a peg, or have something. It's just too, like if you watch the latest Portals Part 2, nothing is too much for him. Nothing. He can handle pretty much everything. Obviously, he's got his issues at the minute, but there was no creature that was anything. That's why he was arrogant, because they just mean nothing to him. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. The pirates suck down your soul and live and die and become their servants. I think they need the souls. They need the living essence of a living person The dead want the living. What do the dead want? They want the living energy. And that's why that's where they're going to come and get them for some reason. But then they need to have the power to cross over and do that. And that's I'll come up with something. I'm going to do the ghost ship one for sure. Simply because what do we got? 7, 8 people on here, maybe 15 that have come and gone. Maybe a couple of hundred people watch this. Maybe a couple of hundred people watch this. But then you'll be the only ones really that know what's going to happen. So, the pirate, yeah, he did wonders with the vampire Eldridge. Yeah, this was another direction I took to come across with a little bit of philosophy in with the why. So it's been done. The vampire needs to drink blood to live, to survive. But what if there was a vampire that had a moral premise? And that's where I went with Eldridge. The enemy of ghost ships are zombies. I tell you what's a really great visual for ghost ship. If you watch Lord of the Rings, where the boat comes at the end and the ghost army comes off the boat, my goodness, that's that is an inspiring imagery. I feel the souls of the ghost ship need to be like that greeny color. For some reason that imagery like that is pretty spooky. I feel that would be the imagery I would like to put across. Because imagine that you could have that, you know, the ocean, the waves, and you know, the fog, and then the helm of the boat coming through the fog. I'm gonna play with it. Love that. Yeah, I think it's great. Lord of the Rings part was very excellent. I think so too. That whole where the ghosts, they didn't have the ghosts in like traditional white. It was like that greenish off green, which made it even spookier. Yeah, I quite like that. So it looks like, even though we did the video which I showed you, I think I'm going to do the ghost ship next. What if some vampires don't live off blood, but from sucking out humans' energy? Yes. I did start the series. Sandra, to get some rest. Okay, Shelley, no problem. We'll see you next week. Take care. Hope you're feeling much, much better. I did start the series with the vampire hunter, and it was one fed on energy, one fed on madness. I got halfway through, but unfortunately, I didn't feel it was received very well. But then again, we can always go back and revisit these things. We can always go back and revisit them. Need to get some rest. Absolutely, we will need rest. Good. Good day, everyone. Thank you, Professor White. Yep, see you later. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you next time. I'm going to go ahead and play. What are we? It's 8 o'clock. So I'm going to head off here. I'm going to go and play with some imagery. We'll do half an hour before I relax for the evening. But I think you've changed my mind. Crystal, again. Crystal does have some good ideas. She does have good ideas. And if you haven't watched it, those who are watching, don't forget, there's a separate channel, which I'm doing bits and pieces on. And we actually do have an entire video with Crystal stories on there. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, watch that. Guys, thank you so much once again for joining me. We are at that time. Go so quick. Thank you so much for the ideas. Thank you for this is the first time you joined us. If you're watching live or the replay, thank you once again so much. What if vampires sucking out human energy would change the human and their behavior? I think it would. I think it would. I feel like that. Some days I feel like I'm being drained from energy vampires. And of course we do have energy. I truly think we have energy vampires around. People that when you're around, they seem to drain you in some way. They seem to, you go happy and you're full of excitement and they can drain you and lower you down. I truly believe that. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe we're missing the point. Maybe they're hidden in plain sight. Maybe the vampire, maybe we were lied to. Maybe it wasn't blood they wanted. Maybe they just wanted our energy, and they're among us every day. They're the people. They are the people where you feel good. You feel you have energy, but you're around them for more than 10 minutes, and then suddenly you're drained. Maybe we were lied to. Maybe it's not the blood they seek. Maybe it's our life force. What if murders and serial killers come from vampires sucking up their energy and affecting their minds? Yes, turning them crazy, turning them mad. Turning them into insane killers. My friends, thank you once again. Thank you for your ideas. I do appreciate it. And I think you've changed my mind, and I'm going to play with the ghost ship one instead. And all I can say is have a wonderful evening, a wonderful afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Have a great time. Stay safe, and I will see you all next week with some more ideas and funky stories. I'll see you real soon. Thank you so much.